This demonstration depicts basic features of the ER Assistant, the software that supports the crow's foot ERD notation used in this course. You will find that the ER Assistant is an easy-to-use tool for data modeling assignments. This demonstration depicts basic aspects of the ER Assistant, along with specialized relationships, documentation, and diagram checking. This demonstration uses the University Database ERD presented in Modules 6 and 7. This part of the demonstration shows the University Database ERD drawn in the ER Assistant. In the demonstration, I will show how to create the course and offering entity types, the HAS relationship, the supervises self-referencing relationship, and the identification dependency enrollment along with the grants and registers relationships. I will also demonstrate the documentation features, that is design notes and design justifications, and the check diagram feature. Let's begin by opening the ER Assistant with no active diagram. So the gray area here means that there is no active diagram. To create an active diagram, I will go to the File menu and click New. Now you will see that the drawing area turns white. That means I'm ready to create entity types and relationships. So now I will create two entity types, course and offering. I can do it with the entity icon on the toolbar. You can also use the entities item in the Insert menu. I'm going to use the entity icon in the toolbar here. Now select the Entity button to add a new entity type and open the Entity window. Select the New button in the Entity window. Change the entity name to Course. Then it will create some attributes for Course by clicking the Attributes button to open the Attribute window. I will add the following attributes: course number is the primary key, course description, and course units. Start by clicking the New button in the Attribute window and type course number is the name. Select the primary key checkbox. Then select char as the data type and type 10 as the length. Click the New button again and type CRSDES for course description as the name. Select varchar as the data type and enter 200 as the length. Click the New button again and type CRS units for course units as the name. Select small n as the data type and click the Close button when finished. Click the New button in the Entity window and create the offering entity type in the same manner. First, click the Attributes button to open the Attributes window. Inside the Attributes window, click the New button and type offer number as the name. Check the primary key box and select integer as the data type. Click the New button again and type off location as the name. Select char as a data type with length of 6. Click the New button again and type off time as the name. Select interval time as the data type. Offering has a lot of other attributes. I've specified just a few here for brevity. Now click the Close button in the Attribute window when finished with all three attributes. Now click the Close button in the Entity window. Note that the window contains two entity types, course and offering. Now we'll rearrange the entity types to put offering on the left and course on the right. Now I will create a one-to-many relationship from course to offering. To create a relationship, you can use the Select mode, that's the default, or Connect mode. Both modes are available in the Mode menu. I will use the Select mode here. In Select mode, you can create relationships using either the Rel button in the toolbar or the Relationships item in the Insert menu. To start, let's click the Rel button on the toolbar. Select the New button and type HAS as the relationship name. Select Course as Entity 1 and Offering as Entity 2. Note that Entity 1 will play the role of the parent and Entity 2 will play the role of the child in a one-to-many relationship. Now you can enter the cardinalities. 1 mandatory for course and many optional for offering. Now when you're finished, click the Close button and see the partial ERD containing a one-to-many relationship from course to offering. However, the entity types and relationships are not arranged neatly. Now I will arrange the entity types and relationship. As I move the entity types, the relationship stays connected. You can move 3 connection points on a relationship, the endpoints and the relationship name. Adjust the entity types and relationship points until you achieve a satisfying layout. So now we see the drawing area with a neat arrangement of the entity types, course and offering, and the one-to-many relationship has connecting them. I will now demonstrate 2 specialized relationships: identification dependency in an associative entity type and self-referencing relationships. Notice that I've added the faculty and student entity types and the teacher's relationships to the ERD. I will define an associative entity type and 2 identifying one-to-many relationships. First, I will define the enrollment entity type using the entity icon in the toolbar. After typing the entity type name, I will select the Week option button. Then I will define one attribute for the enrollment entity type, enroll grade, with a data type of decimal. When finished, click the Close button to see the entity type in the window. Position the enrollment entity type under Offering and to the left of Student. Now, let's use the Connect mode to connect the associative entity type and establish identifying one-to-many relationships. In the Mode menu, select the Connect option. Drag the relationship line from Offering to Enrollment, and then from Student to Enrollment. Double-click on the relationship from Offering to Enrollment. Select the Identifying option button and type Grants as the relationship name. For the relationship cardinalities, select 1 mandatory for Offering, many optional for Enrollment. Then select the Identifying option button and type Registers as the relationship name. For the relationship cardinalities, select 1 mandatory for Student and many optional for Enrollment. Then, when you're finished, click the Close button. Rearrange the new relationships to obtain a neat layout. Now, let's change the mode to Select, then select the REL icon in the toolbar. You should then type Supervises as the relationship name, Faculty as Entity 1, and Faculty as Entity 2. Enter the cardinalities as 1 optional and many optional. In the diagram window, you should drag the middle part of the relationship to see both ends of the relationship. Rearrange the relationship so that it appears neatly formatted. For each object on a diagram, you can enter documentation using the editing window for the object. For example, double-clicking on the faculty entity type opens the entity window. You can enter comments about faculty entity type in the comments area. To enter attribute comments, click on the attribute button and select an attribute. You can then enter text in the comment area. You can describe the meaning of the attribute name, units of measure if a numeric attribute, the user group responsible for the insert, deletion, updates, and so on. For relationships, you can enter comments in the Relationships window by double-clicking on the relationship line. You can enter role names for a relationship and explain the business processes that use a relationship. You can add design justifications using the Design Justifications item in the Insert menu or using the Design Justifications icon on the toolbar. You should use design justifications for design decisions involving multiple feasible choices and explanations of subtle design choices. The ER Assistant automatically numbers design justifications. You cannot modify the numbering. The ERD shows a circle number for each design justification. The design justification window shows the text. You can hide design justifications using the View menu. You can enter diagram notes using the Diagram Notes item in the Insert menu or using the Diagram Notes icon on the toolbar. You should use Diagram Notes for general information about a diagram, such as the revision number and change history. You can hide Diagram Notes by using the View menu. You can check an ERD for diagram errors using the Check Diagram feature in the View menu or the Check Diagram icon on the toolbar. The ER Assistant supports diagram rules presented in Module 7. The University Database ERD has no diagram errors, as the Check Diagram report shows. To see a diagram error, I will reverse the cardinality of the register's relationship. After this change, the Check Diagram report lists the diagram error for the register's relationship. You will find the ER Assistant to be a convenient and powerful tool for data modeling assignments. The tool supports the crow's foot notation presented in the course. It provides convenient drawing tools as well as functions for documentation and diagram error checking.